And good afternoon. It's time for the Getaway this afternoon. We're going to be joined by Danny Coane of the Starline Rhythm Boys. Also, Bill Kirchen will be joining us from Austin, Texas, talking about this Saturday night's benefit for cancer patient research happening at the Sheridan. That's coming up today on WDEV's Getaway. Let's get things started with the Civil Wars and Barton Hollow. There you go, Drive-By Truckers going back to Go-Go Boots. Mercy Buckets, it's the Getaway this afternoon on WDEV, stations of Radio Vermont. Some bad weather, Poco and the Civil Wars, Barton Hollow. Bill Kirchen and Danny Coane are going to join us right after we take this commercial break. We'll be talking about Saturday night's event for the Cancer Patient Support Program. It's a benefit that'll be taking place at the Sheridan. We'll have more information and some great music on the way. Well, I'm really psyched to get a chance to chat with an old friend, Danny Coane, joining us from the Starline Rhythm Boys. How you doing, Danny?
Good, Arty. Good to see you. Thanks so much for having us on here today.
It's my pleasure today, and also a guy that I've followed for quite a while with the Lost Planet Airmen way back in the beginning with Hot Rod Lincoln. That guitar just captured my imagination and took it even further. The master of the Telecaster, Bill Kirchen, joining us today from Austin, Texas. Hi, Bill.
How are you? Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you here, and we are gathered here together to talk about the benefit that you guys have been doing now for how many years? A decade?
10 years, yeah. Actually,
10
I think we've done it 11 years, but 10 years with this particular for this benefit, yeah.
Okay, so it's a benefit that'll be happening Saturday night at the Sheridan Hotel?
That's correct. This Saturday, starting at 7:30.
Great. And how do people get tickets for it?
Well, you've got all the information there, Arty, so you're on the other side of the glass here.
So all you have to do is call 863-5966, or you can go to flyntix.org, and you can get your tickets ahead of time, and I suggest you do that. I think people know about this event, and they're getting pretty psyched for it Saturday night.
Yeah, definitely. And you can get them at the door also. So
Great. So tell us a little bit about how you and Bill got together and how all of this came about to help
Well, it's a long story. Bill, I don't know if you want to tell it or you want me to tell it.
You start, and I'll cut in when I remember what's going on. How's that?
Right, it sounds good. Well, I don't know, maybe 11 years ago, after our first CD came out, Bill had endorsed that CD, and I'd actually never met Bill at that point, even though he'd heard our CD and endorsed it. And he was playing a show at Hank Williams Festival at the Barrie Opera House, and we, with some other artists, and we wanted to try to open for them. And we were told by the promoter the show was too long, we couldn't do it. So the promoter put together a special show the night before that, and it was just the three of us and Bill, no drummer. And so Bill came, and he had Ricky Simpkins with him, I think, also, and Dave, what's his last name, Bill?
Dave Gigerich, dobro player. Yeah.
Dobro player.
Two of the guys on the Hank show. And of course, Danny knew... not only knew every song I knew, he knew it was on the flip side of that record and what key it was in. So
That's the most important.
We really pry ourselves away from each other talking about hillbilly music we loved and time to go play, but we had a great time at that point.
Yeah, and it went great. And so in the audience was Doug Grahn, who was a wonderful person, and I'd actually played his wedding with my old band, the Thribulators, how many years before that, I can't remember. And he was a big Bill Kirchen fan, a Commander Cody fan. So when he saw this combination, he went, whoa, I want to put this on with the Cancer Patient Support Program benefit. And that's how it started.
Great.
I guess he'd done one already with Elizabeth Von Trapp, and Doug's been just above and beyond the call of duty on this. He's put this together every year, largely one man collecting all, and it's a tremendous amount of work, what goes on behind the scenes to make something happen like this, and he's done it every year. So we what year was that? Is this the 10th year for us, correct?
I think it's the 10th year with the benefit, Bill, and I think we've been 11 years doing it with you, because the first year, not counting that one, yeah.
And you have Elizabeth Von Trapp also appearing with you.
Right,
and she was on the one of the early. I think they may have had two of those benefits before we got involved, and so she was an inspiration. One of her songs for Doug, who's had some cancer in his family, and and so she was on, and I think he'd had Bill Staines actually playing originally, and then he decided to go with this format. Yeah.
Wow. So everybody's all set for this Saturday night?
All set for it, and we always usually have guest artists. This time we have the great Leroy Preston from Sleep at the Wheel fame, and of course Bill.
He wrote Full Moon Full of Love, and My Baby Thinks She's a Train that were
That's a
hits
great
for
song.
various people.
Yeah.
Right. And Leroy, of course, is a Vermont boy originally and had gone away and then came back, and he's around. So Bill was an old friend of his from touring with Cody and the Wheel touring together. So we got Leroy coming up to do some stuff, and then we have B.D. Williams, who fronts a Girl Howdy, and they've been an opener before. She's coming up, and Jeff Potter, her partner there on piano. So it'll be a good show, and we're really looking forward to having a big crowd out for this.
Excellent. And again, the tickets are available by calling 863-5966, flinttix.org online or at the door, and that'll be at the Sheridan Hotel in South Burlington. Can't miss it. It's right there in the Emerald Grand Ballroom.
It's a beautiful ballroom.
Filled with sound and filled with people.
Beautiful.
It's going to be a
Filled
great
with
time.
fun and frolic.
That's right. All to benefit a great cause. And again, the start time is 7:30. And Bill, you have an album called Hammer of the Honky Tonk Gods. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this album?
Oh, that was an album I had toured with Nick Lowe, one of my all-time favorite singer-songwriter people, musicians, back in some years ago, and we decided to make a record in England, one of my records, but use that same band that I toured the world with Nick. And so I went over to England and cut that record, Hammer of the Honky Tonk Gods. We made that one. That's my love song to the Telecaster guitar there, the Hammer of the Honky Tonk Gods. And a little kinky for Vermont, but it's all right. It's PG rated, it's fine. And then we made another one with my band in England called Word to the Wise, which is also out. And so the Starline Rhythm Boys have been gracious enough to learn some of the songs from those two albums. We'll be playing them for you.
Sounds great. It reunited you on Word to the Wise with Commander Cody as well.
I did. I went and bearded the commander in his lair there near Albany, New York, and got him to play. I also had, it had to be someone, it was really a duet. Half of it was duets with people I'd actually, there had to be someone I'd actually worked with, either recorded with or performed with. So, and also you had to be not dead yet.
Oh, okay.
That
does qualify, yeah.
Weeded out a few of it. But we had Elvis Costello on there doing a duet of a song I wrote, and Nick Lowe and Paul Carrick, Maria Muldaur, Dan Hicks, wonderful singer that you may know from used to be in Asleep at the Wheel was the female vocalist Chris O'Connell. Right. And Blackie Farrell, a writer that you might have seen that time you went to see us, Lion Share in San Anselmo, those many years ago. He's on it too. Right. And also, unfortunately, we lost Norton Buffalo, but he's featured on one of the songs as well. That's right. I know. That was just unfortunate. Yeah. He was a great guy, a great musician, great harmonica player and singer. Well, why don't we take a listen to a song from the Hammer of the Gods, a song called Rocks into Sand. Anything on this song that we should know about before we listen? Well, I suppose if I was a better songwriter, I wouldn't have to explain it. But in fact, it's kind of a pro-evolution song. I was over in England when there was a controversy of some people trying to take over a school board so they couldn't teach evolution. I'm kind of a science guy, I think religion's great, but I'm a separation of church and state guy. So I thought I'll write the other side of the story. I'll write a little bit, just a view of the timeline, how long it takes for stuff to happen, and see if that touches anybody. Well, let's take a trip to the other side with Rocks into the Sand. It's Bill Kirchner on The Getaway on WDEV. I would have known that was about evolution right away. So I think you're a pretty good songwriter there. Well, thanks. It's a great song there, Bill. Yeah, he's a great songwriter, and it's a beautiful song. Yeah, it really is. So that's taken from Hammer of the Honky Tonk Gods, so pick that one up. And we will rock harder than that, though. Don't worry. It won't be all sensitive, introspective, angst-ridden ballads. We'll rock too, okay? Really? Okay. That's the Starline Rhythm Boys action as well, right? Well, that's it. We can rock, but we can do some hard country, can't we, Bill? We can. We will do some hard, we call unrepentant country music. Right. And that's what people can expect on Saturday evening, 7:30. It's happening at the Emerald Grand Ballroom at the Sheridan Hotel in South Burlington. And tickets are available for the benefit for the Cancer Patient Support Program, bringing together Bill Kirchen and the Starline Rhythm Boys. And they are at, again, 863-5966 or flinttix.org or right at the door at 7:30, or maybe good idea to get there a little early. I would say so. Prime seat, get ready for an evening of fun. Plus, we got Elizabeth Von Trapp and B.D. Williams and Jeff Potter and Leroy Preston going to be on the show as well. Yeah, so this is going to be a big lineup, a lot of fun, and it's always a great time. We always have a great time doing it, so we're really looking forward to it. And let me just add one thing, too. I know Bill doesn't want to probably get
too packed a house here, but he's actually given a guitar workshop at Guitar Sam the night before on Friday night.
Right.
From 7 to 9.
Yeah.
So these Telecaster players that want to really learn the hot licks, this is a chance to do it.
He is the master of the Telecaster.
He is.
Absolutely.
Danny, here's something you don't even know, but I've thrown out a challenge to the people at another radio station, which will go unnamed, that I did an interview on. They brought up the fact that sometimes I play my first instrument, the trombone, which I studied back in the 60s. And I said, well, I'm flying and won't have one. But if anyone shows up with a trombone I can use, I will play Milk Cow Blues with the Starline Rhythm Boys on the trombone.
We hope they do, Bill.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if you did do that, bring it once. Maybe you didn't.
I don't know.
I don't think you did. I know you whistled on a number of tunes, but I don't think I had the trombone. But the trombone would be great.
Yeah.
It's the only instrument not found in nature, the slide trombone.
Wow. So what is coming up in the future? Any future recording for you, Bill?
Yeah, I'm going over to England in a couple of weeks. Not a couple of weeks, couple of months.
Yeah.
I just bought the tickets yesterday to do another record for Proper. And this one, I think, is going to be like a 40-year retrospective where we re-record some of the songs from the Commander Cody days and from my albums on High Tone and Blacktop Records, which were labels I were on before. So I'm heading over. I love going to England, and I love making music, so I'm a lucky guy.
Yes, you are. And you can make your music this Saturday night. It's going to be outstanding at the Sheridan. And how's the weather in Austin today? Just after.
It's actually quite nice. It's sort of Chamber of Commerce weather now. It was last year. It was so hot that it was unbelievable. It crested 190 days in a row when the average is only like 12 days all summer. But it's behaving itself this year. I was just out in Marin County where I was yesterday was all rained in for the weekend, but that's okay too. So everything's fine here.
Excellent to hear. So,
well, and you know, Bill, that Arty saw you years ago playing with the Commander to a capacity crowd at the Memorial Auditorium in Burlington.
There was a number of people there. Unfortunately, the number was 8.
and I was one of the 8s.
What we like to say, Arty, the way we phrase that is that we say there was room for a couple more.
There was a little bit of room, I noticed, but it gave me a lot more room to dance around every time you guys kicked it in, and you guys did that night. I mean, you acted like the place was jammed, so I was very impressed by that. It was
and
good.
I hope we're not going to have that problem at the Sheraton.
I don't think so.
Dollar and I only get to play with the Starline Rhythm Boys once a year, so we make the best of it.
That's right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I hear the birds are singing.
There they are.
I walked outside to see what the weather was because I didn't want to lie on the radio. I think there's FCC regulations against lying on the radio. So
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Any final thoughts before we head on out with the Starline Rhythm Boys here?
No, we just urge people to come out. It's a real opportunity. I mean, it's a great show and a chance for people up around here that know Bill through all the years when he was with Cody and afterwards, because this is really his only shot up here. So I really recommend that people get tickets and get out for this.
All I can think of to say is Uncle Bill says, "Let's rock."
There you go.
There you go. And why don't we tell people how to get involved with the Telecaster seminar at Guitar Sam?
Well, that will be from 7 to 9 this Friday at Guitar Sam in Montpelier, and you can get tickets from the store by calling them and stuff for that. I know Bill.
Workshop, kind of a workshop thing for guitar players. Any skill levels is fine. Are fine.
You'll find something.
Impart some of my little tricks and stunts and licks and things like that.
That sounds great, Bill. Well, thanks again for joining us today on the radio here at the Getaway. I want to thank Danny for hooking this all together. And again, I think people should get on out and rock the Sheridan and do it for the benefit. A great cause, Cancer Patient Support Program. And again, tickets available 863-5966. Go online to flinttix.org. Pick them up at the door. 7:30 it starts at the Emerald Grand Ballroom at the Sheridan. And Bill Kirchen.
And one quick thing, too, Artie, I want to say that ticket price, that $18 ticket, every dime of that goes to the program, okay? The show is underwritten. The show is underwritten by other people that are paying, the big tab for us and Bill. Yep. But the door all goes, and Doug Grant told me they've raised probably $100,000 over these 10 years, for this.
So, yeah. That's great. So let's just add to that.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. You don't have to worry that 95% of your donation is going to over. That's a really good point, Danny.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Every penny of it. Yeah, that's
Excellent.
great.
Well, that's the way it should be. And again, I want to thank both of you for being a part of our day here.
Well, thank you, Arty.
And sharing all of this with us.
Thank you, Arty, for having us. And Danny, always great to chat with you. And
Same here, Bill.
So I can't wait to see both of you. Are you coming, Arty? Can you make it out?
Unfortunately, I'm going to be in San Francisco that weekend.
Whoa.
My
poor
kids
dear.
out there. Yeah, I know. I'm really complaining about it. But,
I will see you next time.
but next year I'll be here.
All righty.
Okay, guys. Thanks again for joining us. Let's go out with the Starline Rhythm Boys, Masquerade for Heartache on the Getaway. WDEV, Bill Kirchen, Danny Coane. There we go, Starline Rhythm Boys, Masquerade for Heartache. And again, Saturday night, the Emerald Grand Ballroom at the Sheridan for the cancer patient benefit. Again, tickets are available at the door at 7:30. So join up with the Starline Rhythm Boys, Bill Kirchen, and thanks to everybody for joining us this afternoon on The Getaway.
Join me, Tom Harmon, and Senator Bernie Sanders for our National Town Hall.